You
Yes,
guys
we are.
Yes.
Sally, please start.
Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. I'm Sally Reyes, your group sergeant at arms. Please take out your phones and set them to silence. I would like to welcome our Division D President of Leaders Worldwide, who is also District Toastmaster General, okay, Distinguished Toastmaster, General Intuitive, and Guardian Angel. Don't forget the Guardian Angel part. Welcome, Cynthia Stott.
Thank you, Sally. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited that we're getting started here. It's going to be a really fun meeting today. And I also wanted to announce you will want to be back on April 5th. I know for you in the UK and Africa, it's late at night, but you might want to come just in case, because we're going to be having none other than Sarah Kahn, who she's been on the Toastmasters magazine cover. She's been in Forbes magazine, and she's done a TEDx talk. So really, really spectacular. She's our biggest celebrity yet. I think she even outranks Margaret Page as the president-elect of Toastmasters International. So you want to be here April 5th at 5:45 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific/San Francisco time, but I know that's early in the morning for you in the UK and Africa. You'll have to maybe listen to our YouTube channel. So I'd like to welcome our guests. I see Katerina. Hi, Katerina. You want to unmute your mic? This is where you get to talk.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Hello,
What brought
hello.
you here today?
Actually, it was your post on Facebook, so it caught my eye, and I saw that Slovenia was not presented within all the countries there. And since I know we are a small country, but we do have a big heart, and we do love Toastmasters also in our small country. So that's why I wrote you, and thank you for the invitation, and thanks for having me here. On the other side of the world, basically.
Beautiful. You. Welcome. And I love your picture in the back. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's Slovenia, basically. So it's Blit. So yes.
Wow. We'll have to have you write an article for our Global Leader magazine about Slovenia.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome. Anyone else, Linda? I can't see everybody.
We have Antoinetta.
Antoinetta, welcome.
Thank you very much, and happy Women's Day. I'm visiting from Lima, Peru.
Wow.
First I joined Toastmaster was many years ago, over 20 years ago, at Lima Toastmaster, which has 60 years of existence, our first club here in Peru. And I joined back thanks to the current circumstances in 2020 in July. I'm very glad to do so, and appreciate this window of opportunity to be everywhere in the world with very interesting Toastmasters meetings. Thank you.
Awesome. And did you find us on Facebook as well?
No Facebook. I'm not from Facebook, but from your post, even international, the way I hear about events is the international post, or through some emails on previous other events.
Right. Welcome. Okay. And anyone else?
Donna,
welcome. Donna,
Hi.
I'm Donna Caseborn from Indianapolis, Indiana. I have been getting your guys' emails about your meetings probably for 2 to 3 months.
Great.
Used to finding you on Facebook. And I thought, I just have to do it today. So I just barely got home from a doctor's appointment. And I'm going to go back on mute. That's so I can have lunch while
Okay, well,
on.
welcome. Welcome. Anyone else?
Sarinka?
Oh, Sarinka, yes, please. Hi, Sarinka. Sarinka is a member of the UK Zoom Academy, and she will be sharing with us about what that is and why you want to participate.
Thank you, Cynthia. Hi, all. It's my pleasure to be here.
Great. And I reached out to you. Oh, I guess we connected with you through the Zoom Academy because you were our Zoom host a couple weeks ago.
Kind
Great.
of, yes. Mhm.
And Cynthia, we have Boomy, who is with us yet again. You're becoming a perpetual guest, Boomy. We really love having you here.
We do, we do. Can you unmute, Boomy?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Toastmaster Linda and Toastmaster Cynthia, for always having me here.
And you're a timer all the way from India. What city do you live in India?
It's Raipur in Chhattisgarh. The state is Chhattisgarh and city is Raipur.
Okay, great. We love having you here as our timer, our expert timer.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that covers our guests.
Okay, well, now I will turn it over to our Toastmaster, which is none other than our VPE, Kathleen Till. Are you unmuted, Kathleen?
Whoops. Happy International Women's Day. This is the very day. Let's kick some butt. We have wonderful participants and wonderful speakers. And so the theme of today is International Women's Day. Let's first introduce Mohammed as the general evaluator to give us some of the housekeeping guidelines for the timer and the grammarian, the word of the day. Mohammed?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster VPE. As a general evaluator, as per the agenda, what I have over here to explain the role of the grammarian and the timer. I request the timer for today's meeting. Can you speak about what is the criteria for prepared speech and the table topic?
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Mohammed. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Time is the scariest resource, and unless it is managed, nothing else can be managed. As timer, I'll time the formal speeches, table topic speakers, and the evaluation. I will alert each speaker of the time they have left by using green, yellow, and red virtual cards. So let's start with first segment, that is the prepared speeches segment. The duration for the prepared speech segment is 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, and the red card at 7 minutes. Next, the table topic segment. The time limit for the table topic speaker is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show the green card at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card at 2 minutes. The next is the evaluation section. The duration for the evaluation section is 2 to 3 minutes. I'll raise the green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and the red card at 3 minutes. I'll represent my report at the end when called upon by General Evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Mohammed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhumi, for your wonderful explanation about the timing criteria. Now we'll move on. I request our grammarian for today's meeting explain her role about grammarians for today's meeting.
Thank you. This is Sally Reyes, your Sergeant at Arms, and today I'm grammarian to check on your delivery and the unnecessary words that may weaken your speech. So you become aware of all the ifs, ands, buts, okay, will be counted, and you'll become aware of whether you got that down yet or not. And our word of the day is inclusion. The act or state of being included within a group or structure. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madam, about your role as a grammarian. I encourage our speaker, evaluator, and the guest to use maximum number of time to use word of the day, inclusion. I will not take much time. I will pass over control back to Madam VPE, Kathleen Phil. Back to you.
And Bhumi, dear Bhumi, thank you for your service. And if you would kindly give our master leader indications of 1 minute, 2 minutes, and 3 minutes for her leadership moment, which is a very exciting, how do you say, Linda is going to tell us about an inspiring woman in her life. Linda?
And Linda, can you see the timer? Have you pinned the timer? Can you see the timer?
I'm not even unmuted. Can we start over? Is it too late to start over?
Linda is going to tell us in 1 to 3 minutes about an inspiring woman in her life. Linda?
Hi.
Hi.
In my early 30s, I was on a mission to ban myself from the fog of depression for good. I didn't always suffer from depression. It wasn't until I lost my mom to depression and suicide when I was 13. And I think that some part of me was validating her behavior by carrying on her tradition. So once I chose not to follow her path, my life changed. And living in the San Francisco Bay Area, I was able to choose from a multitude of alternative therapies to heal myself. I felt guided. So one evening, I showed up at the East West bookstore in Palo Alto to see medium psychic Barbara Van Diest. She was also a Reiki master teacher, but I didn't even know what that was. Barbara glided into the room. She had this beautiful, long flowing hair, crystal blue eyes that you could see through into her soul. She was like a goddess. Barbara was wearing flowing clothes and she was barefooted. And she had on what she called crystal slippers. I loved it. Within 10 minutes, I knew that whatever she was teaching, I was going to take. Barbara taught me Reiki, which is a hands-on healing modality to heal the spirit. She taught me the power of loving myself. And she channeled my mother for me. It was like speaking to my mom on the other side of the phone. It gave me so much understanding and closure about my mom's death. Barbara was my teacher, my friend, my mentor. Sadly, she passed away in 2009. But when I was upset, she just knew the right words to say. And this quote changed my life one day. I was feeling so defeated, and Barbara said to me, when life gives you lots of manure, turn it into fertilizer to grow a beautiful garden. Wow, I got it. That was incredible. I knew at that moment why I had had so many difficulties in my life. Now I feel Barbara's presence as I teach and mentor my own Reiki students. I gift them her yes prayer so they can get an experience of her. And when my students call me and they're feeling down, I use the same quote on them. And guess what? It still works. So within 5 years, I was able to get rid of depression for good. And I thank you, Barbara.
Beautiful, inspiring. And Linda Patton is our Zoom host. She will introduce our keynote speaker.
I don't have an introduction, Kathleen. I thought you were. That's how it shows.
Michelle Petticolas is our keynote speaker, and her speech title is Evaluate to Inspire. And I know what an inspiring evaluator Michelle is. So with that, Michelle Petticolas, Evaluate to Inspire. Evaluate to Inspire, Michelle Petticolas.
Thank you, Lynn. Because it is Women's History Month, and today is Women's Day, I'm going to start out with a story, which is actually related to evaluation. When I first came to Toastmasters, I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to join. And I already had a lot of experience in speaking. I had been speaking for 17 years, and I was an inspiring speaker. So I was very discerning. The first time I came, I wasn't that impressed. But the second time I came, James Jeffley, the president of Heart to Heart, was speaking. He was amazing. He blew my mind. His speech was so well crafted, and there was this humor, and it was just wonderful. But that wasn't the deciding factor. The deciding factor was that our hero and leader, Cynthia Stott, gave James stretch goals. I was blown away. Not only were those stretch goals spot on, but they inspired me and they convinced me this was the place I wanted to be. This was the place that was going to really improve and take my speeches to the next level. Thank you, Cynthia. Today, I'm going to share with you how you can give really excellent evaluations. Evaluations are speeches. Their purpose is to inspire and motivate the speaker to improve. That's your purpose. And you want to know what is the one indication that you've succeeded? The number one indication that you've succeeded is that the speaker will either chat you or reach out to you and say, oh my goodness, that was so amazing, the evaluation you gave me. I'm really excited to work on my speech and make it even better. That's when you know. To help you, I'm going to give you an acronym. It's not perfect, but it will get you there. It's WHY. WHY. So the first one is what. As an evaluator, you want to know what it is that you want to be evaluating. So one of the things that you evaluate is the content of the speech. That is the what of the speaker. How well is it organized? Does it accomplish the speaker's objective? Does it engage you? So that's the first thing that you look at, is the speech itself. Is it compelling? Does it keep your interest? Does it take you somewhere? You might even look for a story arc, one in which things actually go from one place to the other. Number two, you want to look at the how. How did they deliver it? Were they engaging? Did they use vocal variety? Did they use body movement? Did they use facial expression? Those are the kinds of things that you're looking at when you're evaluating the how. Now, the number one thing that you want to remember when it comes to evaluating, and one of the things that speakers often forget, is the pause. That space actually causes people to pay attention. It brings them back. It also gives the audience a chance to catch up to what you're talking about. So look for that in your evaluation. And then finally, the why, which I don't mean the letter Y, I mean why again, WHY. Did the speaker succeed in their objective? And oftentimes the why comes up at the very end, when there's a summary and either a call to action or an invitation. That's when we understand and see how it all pulls together. It's basically the summary of the speech. So you want that part in the speech as well, and you want to listen to it because that's what pulls it all together. So I have talked from your purpose about the what. What are you looking for? Now we're going to talk about the how for you. How do you deliver your speech? Because as an evaluator, you are giving a speech. The first time I gave an evaluation, I totally blew it. I was so busy writing down all the things that that person had gotten wrong. I mean, I must have had 10 things. And I got up there and I couldn't even remember them. I sort of blurted them out. I finished my speech in like 1 minute instead of 3. And then afterwards, when I listened to the other evaluators, I was mortified because I realized I had forgotten that the purpose of the speech is to motivate, to help you to remember that purpose and not get caught up in this perfection of getting all things ticked on the sheet, the correction sheet, is to think about the sandwich method. The sandwich method reminds you that there are 2 parts on either side, which we call the positive parts. They hold the whole thing together. And then in the middle is what we call the stretch goals or the challenges. Notice I said stretch goal and challenge. Language is really important. You need to remember that your opinion is just an opinion. Your suggestions are not coming from divine. They are coming from your own experience. And you want to remember to say that in the way in which you use your language. Now, another thing that's super important is that you want to be specific. I can tell you how many times I've heard an evaluator say, "Oh, I loved your speech," but then doesn't ever point out why they loved your speech. Was it the opening? Were you engaged in when the speaker opened? Did you love the summary? Did you love the call to action? What did you love about the speech? I don't know what number I'm on. I think number 4 I'm on number 5, demonstrate. When you give an evaluation and you give a suggestion, you want to actually demonstrate. So for example, if you want to show somebody how to use a stage, you might say, I have 3 points. So you could start over here, my right, your left, and say point number 1. Point number 1 is what? The what? See, I forgot. Now I'm evaluating myself, the what. And then point 2 is the how. And so that's kind of like in the middle. And the point number 3 is the why. And then you can kind of come back in the middle for the summary. That's a demonstration. Finally, you want, just like you want your speaker, to end with a summary. So for example, my summary is, I made in the beginning, the point that it's really important to evaluate, to inspire and motivate. That I mentioned 3 things that you want to remember in giving your evaluation: the what, the how, and the why. And then finally, I want to make the point about the why, which is number 3, the why, or my last point. What is this all about? To inspire. Why do you want to inspire? Well, this is Women's History Month. This is Women's Day. We want to help our women to have voices. And if you crush them with your evaluation, you are not giving women the permission and the encouragement to speak. So this is so important for you to learn how to do this. And you know what? The best thing about learning how to evaluate to motivate is you improve your own speaking. Madam Toastmaster.
I knew I'd learn a lot from you, Michelle. Now, our Zoom host is going to conduct a little Q&A with the keynote speaker. Linda Patton, do you want to step in and?
Absolutely. Can I have Michelle up with me? First of all, I'd like to say, if you have questions for Michelle, please put them in the chat. And I'm going to start with several of our own. First of all, how did you become better at being an evaluator? What did you do? What did you think? What did you feel?
Well, besides having Cynthia Scott in my club, so you want to make sure when you join a club that you have some really good evaluators. That was my criteria for joining. The other way is to go to contests, evaluation contests, which, by the way, we have the division contest coming up this week on Thursday. And I invite all of you that can make it to come, because we're going to be having the best evaluators in the division. 5 evaluators showing up and sharing their expertise. How else? You have to practice, practice, practice. Get out there. Know what it is that you're trying to do. Remember the why, the what, the how, and the why. What I didn't mention in my speech is that the what is somewhere around 50% of the points in an evaluation speech contest. So that's really important. And the next part is, I believe, 40, and then 15 is separated in terms of other things. But the most important thing, well, not the most important thing, sometimes what decides whether you win or lose is whether or not there's a summary.
Perfect. Thanks, Michelle. Another question. Can you give us a couple of examples of demonstrating recommendations?
Yes, that I did give you one demonstration, which was how to show the movement in the room, and it's my favorite. But the other example would be the demonstration of the pause. So you actually demonstrate how to do that. If you're talking about content, you might want to give an example of how that content could be improved. For example, recently in a speech presentation, I gave some feedback to the speaker. She was specifically asking me for some points, and she gave a great speech. But in her speech, she talked about her friend whose mother had died, and she came to her support. Now, her whole speech was about the advantages of helping others. What I told her was that the most important or the most powerful part of her speech was the fact that she helped her friend because her friend's mother had died and that she was feeling isolated. I said, that's where I believe the power of your speech is. So when you talk about it, you are specific and you give the why, the rationale for why that's right. So for example, when I was giving the 3 positions, that the part of the reason for doing that is that it helps you remember what your points are, and it helps your audience remember.
Okay. Taufik asked whether you should look at the judge's ballot for preparation.
You can do that. That's excellent. And also, if you Google search on winning evaluation advice, you can get some really, really good pointers. When it comes to evaluating for a speech contest, it's a little different because your purpose is not only to give a stunning evaluation, but you have to remember that you're also giving a speech. So evaluators who tend to get higher points are ones that start out with some point at the very beginning about speaking and evaluation, that it ties into the whole speech. And they always remember to give that summary at the end.
And why is it important to have a summary?
Well, it's important to have a summary for several reasons. One is people kind of go in and out of their awareness. And when you give a summary, you give people another chance to pull it all together. And in the summary at the end, remember I talked about the sandwich method. In the summary at the end, you're going back into the upswing. You've just given stretch goals and challenges. Now you're going back to say again, what is good? Very briefly, what they can improve. And finally, where can they take that to the next level? For example, I really think your speech has a possibility of being in a contest, of being a winning international speech. So I'm looking forward to what you do next. Or, you know, the information you gave is so valuable. I would really like to see you take that out into the community. Or I would really like to see you do that as a video blog post.
Bumi, can I just check on time? I saw your hands, but I haven't seen any change in. Are we okay?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, she took only 9 minutes for her speech. So that's why we have more time for Q&A.
Perfect. Thank you. Like I said, I just saw you moving and I wasn't sure whether I'd missed something. Okay. Mohammed asks, and I'm going to try and paraphrase this. How long does it take to become the perfect evaluator and to be a champion?
That's a great question, Mohammed. I would like to remind you that the real purpose of evaluation is not to become a champion. The real purpose of evaluation in Toastmasters, and it is what makes Toastmasters unique, is to motivate and inspire the speaker. That is the most sacred and most important thing that you ever do. Thank you, Mohammed. Champion is just an opportunity to go out and share your knowledge and your expertise with other would-be evaluators. I want to tell you a story. I participated in the division evaluation contest a couple of years back. I actually lucked out because one of the other people who was supposed to speak dropped out, and so I popped in. You know what? The speaker came to me afterwards and said, your points, your suggestions were the best ones I received. I came in third. Do I care? What I care is that I impacted that speaker.
Okay. And this is one I dearly love. The last piece of evaluation is about doing stretch goals. So you could give them a whole laundry list of stretch goals. How many is perfect?
This is a really great question. Remember I told you about how the first time I gave an evaluation, I totally blew it because all I did was give them stretch goals or critique? I knew better. I used to work in a group home in which we use behavior mod. And what they tell you is that for every negative or correction you give, you need at least 5 positives. Actually, if you look in some posts on Google, they might even tell you 10. We are so wired to be negative about ourselves and judgmental that you need to really compensate. That's why we don't even give negatives. We give stretch goals and challenges. You actually don't need to get as many as possible. What you want is to give them the next 2 steps they need to take to really improve their speech. And understand that recognizing the positives in their speech is equally as important as the things that they can stretch. That when they know, oh, this landed, you are reinforcing that and helping them to continue to do that.
Awesome. And Donna Caseborn says, in District 11, we aim for 2 to 3 stretch goals, which falls very nicely in what you just told us. Okay, I can take one more question if somebody would like to put one in the chat. Otherwise,
you have extra time.
I would say otherwise we have extra time. Michelle, that was absolutely spectacular. The speech was perfect. I mean, we often struggle with evaluations and, you know, what's the balance between them and how do I give one that's going to be helpful to the individual as well as not destroy them with your words. And I think you did a fantastic job of educating us in how to give an evaluation that truly inspires and motivates the speaker to continue to move forward. Thank you again so much, Dr. Pedicolis. It was great having you here. And I am going to turn this back over to our VPE.
Who will announce the opportunities for next meeting's roles. And before that, I want to let you know about the wonderful accomplishments of members in our club. For instance, both in the speech contest and in the evaluation contests, members won the top award at their level. And Swarna Kalyan, so that is Isaac Ford and Rosalind Khan. Isaac Ford walked away with the award for the best speech in our area division level at the moment, and Rosalind Khan walked away with the evaluation award. She also gained her Distinguished Toastmaster award with her other hand while she was doing that. And also Suwarna Kalyan achieved her Triple Crown award. So all in a day's work, all in a week's work for this club. I'm going to let you see the roles available for this coming for our next meeting, which will be March 22nd. So I assume you know that the Table Topics Master presents 3 interesting, soul-stirring, provocative questions. And then we need 2 evaluators, and you can practice this marvelous work that Michelle just showed us. And there is the Toastmaster. There's the last master leader moment, which Linda Berteau did such a beautiful job in. We need the timer. We need the sergeant at arms, the grammarian, and the word of the day. So I'll be asking you specifically for playing roles toward the end of the meeting. And I want to apologize to Linda Patton for not recognizing her marvelous accomplishments. Linda, I apologize, but I want to ask you for the specifics in that.
Okay, Kathleen, I wasn't expecting you to do this. Let's see, 5 levels of dynamic leadership, 3 levels of visionary communications. So yes, I did reach a triple crown and I'm still going forward with that. And I've got an OATM that you're going to get the forms for this week. And the numbers are ridiculous.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Linda. So we are going to take a break. We're going to take a 5-minute break. And so we can expect to be back about 11:52. Is that correct, Madam Zoom host?
That is correct. I have 11:46 and 5 minutes would be actually 11:51.
All righty.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
See you shortly.
And Linda, we have a guest that's been trying to get in. Can we see if he can get in? I don't, his Zoom name is either one of those 2 names that I sent you, Kashtini Pandit or Idama Raphael.
The only one that I've had in the waiting room that I basically kicked out was Techno Pop.
Okay, let me have him try one more time. And maybe it says Techno Pop, but that sounds like a bomber.
Yeah, if it's tech, that's why I eliminated him and reported him to Zoom. So if that is, yeah. If that's not the Zoom name that they were coming in with, great. I'm more than willing to bring them in, but if they're Technopop, they will not be able to come in this time.
Okay, he'll try one more time and then, I don't think that's his name, but let's have him try one more time.
Let him know that if it is, he needs to change it, or he needs to come in under another name.
Okay. Is your name? Okay. I'm going to tell him just try one more time. And if he can't, he's going to try another time. He registered and for some reason didn't get the proper password, but I don't know how that works.
I don't have him on the registration list unless he did it just recently.
He may have done it during the last 15 minutes when he's been trying. So,
well, let me check the registration list.
Okay. He's challenged, and he's from Nigeria. I know him from Facebook.
If it's the name you sent me, which is Idama,
Uh-huh.
he did not register.
Whew. Let me find out his email address.
Okay.
Because that'd probably be more assured of what we get. Okay, let me ask, what is his email address? My name is. And I believe Carrie got in, right?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Carrie, are you here? She might be on break.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hey, Carrie.
Okay.
We have all our Speechcraft people then. Does anyone else want to go into Speechcraft?
We'd love to have you go see our demo speaker and experience Speechcraft, especially those of you that are either guests or new Toastmasters that, you know, have never. Barbara, you want to go? Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, because you'll get to learn about research speeches.
Yes. Fantastic. Anyone else? And right now I can't see you all because I'm going to remove the spotlights.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else who's a guest, who's not a current Toastmaster, never was a Toastmaster, wondering what it's all about? We'd love to put you in the breakout room and to see Carrie Kelly, who's an amazing speaker.
And there's more opportunity for table topics in the Speechcraft room. So if you want to do table topics, you're more of a guarantee in there. Okay.
Okay, I'm not seeing anybody else raising their hands, jumping up
Yeah,
and
I
down.
think everybody's good. Oh, hi, Patricia, you're here. Yay.
Hi, Cynthia.
Long time no see.
Yes.
And Kadisha, you're here too. I didn't think you'd be here because it's the afternoon. Great.
Thank you, Madam Timer. And all right, I am going to send our wonderful Speechcraft individuals over to their room. So ladies, it's all women. Woo! That's a powerful group. You will all be moving to the Speechcraft room. See you in a bit. And they are gone, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, all of them are gone. Great. They really did a good job.
No, I think I have it set on automatic.
Oh, perfect.
From the speech contests. So
perfect.
Who's left in this room?
I'm sorry?
Who's left in this room?
Everybody else.
About 23 people.
So I'm the evaluator for
Victor, and that he's the second speaker in just a sec. So we'll get on with it, and we'll make sure that you get off by 12:40.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Madam
and
Toastmaster. Oh,
I'm going to
sorry.
turn this over to our Toastmaster to introduce the first speaker and the first speech title.
Our first speaker is a special treat coming all the way from Edinburgh via, actually Bonaire via Edinburgh. This is Sarinka Janga, and she is a master of the Zoom Academy. She's going to tell us all about it and how we can learn all the tricks in the Zoom Academy. Sarinka Janga, the Zoom Academy. The Zoom Academy, Sarinka Janga.
Thank you, Kathleen, for the nice introduction. Hello, all. Change is inevitable. There's not one day in your life that there is no change. You're getting hungry, you need to go to bed because you're getting sleepy. So it's a constant change. And we either embrace change or we shy away from change. Last year around this time, all of a sudden, a pandemic broke open. And there was a sudden change. I was already attending Zoom meetings because I'm a member of a club, Moms and Co. And this club was meeting on Zoom because we were just meeting when the babies or the children are in bed. So all I was doing was clicking on a link and I was in a meeting. I never really bothered to understand what that link was about until the pandemic started. And the president of my club, I was VPE at that time, said, which platform are we going to use to continue with our meetings? And we had 3 days to decide. So all we did was quickly check what was available. And we saw, oh, most Toastmasters clubs are using Zoom. Why should we use something different? And we have chosen to use Zoom as well. So I dived into the Zoom. Instead of only clicking on a link, I had to understand as the VPE how to set up a meeting, run a meeting, and so on. And I have managed to do all that by watching YouTube videos, reading in the Zoom help. And then came the contest period. We thought, oh my God, this is becoming a bit more complex because now we need to work with breakout rooms. And our district D71, came up with 2 brilliant people, Nick Lahani and Moira O'Brien, who were already Zoom pros, and they started to give Zoom training for the whole district. So I attended and did our area contest and our division contest, but things were exploding because pandemic was not over. So we have to continue on Zoom. So that's the point that the district started to see that Nick Lahani and Moira O'Brien couldn't do this on their own. They need a team. And they were asking each district director to provide their best people. And so I came in touch with the Zoom Academy. I did a lot of events along with them. And then we set up this academy. Nick Lahani and Moira O'Brien stepped back, and Dinah Simmons and Eddie Umani are doing the Zoom Academy. My person is doing specifically contests. That's my expertise. We have Moira doing hybrids and also the OBS. That's a very sophisticated way of broadcasting into the Zoom via a video system. And this academy came into life, and it gives opportunity. So you have two ways of doing things. One, you can investigate it for yourself, like I did. Or the other side too, you can go to Academy and along with like people, you learn how to do the basics in Zoom. And if you're very ambitious, you can progress the way you wish. So I would like to invite you all, if you wish to do more than clicking on just a link, join the Zoom Academy. We are more than happy to show you through Zoom from account settings, what and how you set up your account, and how you create a meeting with or without registration, how you run your meeting. You can see all the buttons at the bottom of your screen saying mute, video, security button, and so on, how to operate all these. And then you come into the very fantastic things of polling, so you can have an election there, and also breakout rooms. It's all very easy. If I can do it, you can do it as well. And you also learn the variety or the differences between when you're sitting behind your computer or when you are on a mobile device. There are differences when you're hosting there. The other thing, opportunity our Academy also gives is when you went through the Academy, you can join the Zoom Masters pool and you can go and help other clubs with their events. We are now protecting our members to be bullied by event organizer. We have a whole host of way of training our Zoom masters that they can go and be sure that with the event organizer, they know exactly what needs to be done and that they can do their job to the best of their abilities. So I'll just post in the chat where you can contact us, and looking forward. You may not meet me in the Zoom Academy as a trainer, but I may see you around. Back to you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Kathleen.
Where do I sign? And our Zoom host is going to conduct a little interaction, a little question and answer.
So, Sarinka, so nice to meet you. I've met several people from the Academy, and it's always a learning opportunity. So, attendees, wonderful people who are here on the call, do you have any specific questions for Sarinka? Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Zoom bombers.
I have seen a question directed to me. I can either answer the person on screen or I can
please do.
answer. Okay, someone asked me, have you used slides in the background? Yes, I've done that. You need to prepare your PowerPoint slides in a way that you leave space for the your own picture.
Would somebody please mute?
Stacy?
Thank you. Please continue, Sarinka.
Yes, so you have to prepare your slides in a way that your picture or your video will also fit in the slides, and your computer needs to be able to support advanced sharing, so you can share your slides in an advanced manner, and Zoom itself will put your video in the middle or wherever you want it in the slides.
Awesome. So we have Taufik, who says he vouches for you. You had the opportunity to learn the tricks and you're great. So a nice compliment. Antoinetta says, thanks, very interesting. How long does the training take?
It's 2 nights, 2 evenings. It's on London time, I'm afraid. So it's from 7 to 8:30, max 9 o'clock. So 2 hours, twice is the training. So it's section 1 and 2, and then session 3 and 4, but spread over 2 nights.
Okay, very good. So only 2 nights of no sleep. I like it.
Yes.
Perfect. And where do we find the Zoom Academy? Now you gave us the link to
Yes,
sign
I've
up
just
for the
posted it.
Academy.
Yeah. Yes, I've posted it earlier, the email where you can ask for any
Can you
details,
post
and
it
also
again?
yes, I can.
Yeah.
And so when you sign up for the Zoom Academy, it's not an automatic, you're not automatic assigned a training day. The trainers will get back to you with an email proposing dates and times. There are also weekend days that we do training in the morning, which may be a bit more friendly for people in another time zone.
Ah, that's worse for us. That's middle of the night.
Yes, oh my goodness.
So I got some complaints about that. That was only middle of the night you were offering, but it sounds like you offer 7 p.m. GMT, which is 11 a.m. here.
Yes.
So maybe they
yes.
just need to be patient and wait for those, because the weekend
Absolutely.
one was too early.
Too early. I think it's because it's contest period. Everybody is up to here with contests.
Okay, so our timer is telling us that we are at the end of your time. Sarinka, thanks so very much on giving us this insight into Zoom. As for me, I know it's been an extremely interesting ride so far. So thank you again very, very much. And I'm going to turn it back over to our Toastmaster, Kaplan.
We have a delightful speech ahead of us from the person that our first evaluator will introduce. Lynn Fraley is going to introduce our next speech. And Lynn, it's yours.
You're muted.
Am I unmuted now?
There you go.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Our next, such an efficient crew here. Our next speaker's professional life seems to be filtered through Toastmasters. He's going to tell us a story told through that filter that he ran across, which really typifies Toastmasters' mentorship program. Help me welcome Victor Irving Jenkins as he does New Day, New Jet.
And he is in the effective communications path, and this is in level 3 already of effective communication, and it is connect to your audience through storytelling. Victor.
Greetings, one and all. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to what's coming out of my pie hole. It's a significant pie hole, I assure you. The mission of the Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and a positive learning environment where every member gets a chance to develop communication and leadership skills, which in turn fosters self-confidence and personal growth. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, at some point in your Toastmasters life, you are going to be called upon to be a leader. You may have already been called upon to be led, because leaders is a 3-tiered structure. You got you, then you got somebody leading you or mentoring you, and then you got somebody that you're leading. I'm a big proponent of the whole leader genre, because in real life, Toastmasters really hit the nail on the head. We're all aspire to be leaders. There are some shortcomings to being a leader, but that's okay, because there are shortcomings to many things. Let me give you an analogy. Now, don't make the mistake of thinking that I know anything about drills, because I don't. I can talk pretty good, but I don't know about drills. But you take a drill and you want to drill a hole in the board. We're all familiar with that concept. Well, if you don't press hard enough, you're not going to get a hole, right? And if you press too hard, bam, you're gonna break the drill bit. So we all go through that balancing act of pressing a little pressure on our mentees and not putting too much pressure on our mentees. And of course, I welcome it. Now, those of you that don't think of yourself as a leader, after this speech, I'd like for you to think of yourself as a leader. See yourself as a leader, and don't be afraid to put a little pressure on that drill bit when needed. Take the case of Lieutenant Rob Walden. Lieutenant Rob Walden is a Navy pilot, and he had wanted to be a Navy pilot, since he was yay high. And so here he was today going into training session number 3. He had already had 2 training sessions, 2 flight sorties, and on both of those flight sorties, he had the misfortune of forgetting to engage the landing gear. You know, when you land a plane without the landing gear, that's pretty traumatic. And when you have that traumatic a landing for the military, well, you're going to have to spend some money. The plane has got to be repaired. The plane is going to be on the ground. The pilot's not going to be able to fly. So being able to remember that little thing of hitting the switch to engage the landing gear was a pretty big deal. Now, Lieutenant Walden, little guy, small guy, about 5'8", maybe 160, 170 pounds, but he had the physical requirements that it took to be a Navy pilot. Contrast him with the training officer for today. The training officer that's about to come through the door, the training officer that knows that Lieutenant Walden had messed up 2 times already. Colonel Buster. Colonel Buster was about 6'6", weighing in at, well, he weighed in at as many pounds as the Navy would let him weigh, but he was packed with muscle. Colonel Buster had the reputation of being a very hard instructor, had the reputation of being a very hard man to deal with, and he had washed out more Navy pilot candidates than anybody can imagine. In fact, there's probably a whole slew of DoorDash drivers that wanted to be Navy pilots at one time. And I'm not one. I never wanted to be a Navy pilot. So the tension in the room was very, very thick. You could almost cut it with a knife as Lieutenant Walden is looking out the window and he's watching Colonel Buster walk up to the training room in that military way that Colonel Buster has of walking and that military bearing. And Lieutenant Walden, he had military bearing too, but he was trembling. He was afraid because if he had made one more mistake, and believe me, there are lots more things you could do wrong other than forget to engage the landing gear. And as Colonel Buster walked through the door, Lieutenant Walden's anxiety is reaching a feverish pitch. And of course, Colonel Buster knew this because Colonel Buster is an experienced trainer. And as I said, he's watched out several Navy pilots in the past. He saw Lieutenant Walden, he walked in and he briskly walked up to him and stuck his hand out just like a military man would do. It says, "New day, new day, new day, new jet." New day, new jet. No matter what had gone on before today, Colonel Buster was giving Lieutenant Walden a fresh start. Now, from time to time, we as mentors, we need to give people a fresh start, but the ability to determine whether to give somebody a fresh start or whether to wave bye-bye to them is something that comes with practice. If you have never broken the drill bit, to use the analogy, then you may not be doing your best job. If you have drilled a hole, you could have been fortunate in having really amiable people that you had to manage. But sometimes you have to make that call. And Colonel Buster made that call that day when he said, "New day, new jet." So how about you? We as Toastmasters, we have to mentor people all the time. Sometimes Toastmasters do not make it for their assignments. Sometimes Toastmasters cancel their opportunity to speak. Sometimes Toastmasters make big mistakes, much bigger than forgetting the landing gear on a multi-million-dollar airplane. But you and me as mentors, as leaders, we have to develop the know-how, the wherewithal to manage that just right. Sure, Every now and then you're going to make a mistake, but we got to welcome the ability to make that mistake, because Toastmasters is relying on us to keep Toastmasters relevant. When you look at the whole world in general, as I do, and remember in my intro I talked about my life is filtered through Toastmasters. My life is filtered through Toastmasters because I see myself, and I want you to see yourself, as an integral part in everybody's advancement. And I want you to see yourself as being able to respond to your mentor to keep everything going as it ought to. New day, new jet. They might have just given a horrible speech a couple of days before, but that's okay. You might know them to be someone who slacks off from time to time. That's okay as well. Give your mentee, give your trainee the benefit of the doubt when it's necessary. That doesn't mean that you want to let people through just because they're trying. How many of you know that sometimes the winning or the losing of a military battle rests on the shoulder of that one military pilot? Now, while we as Toastmasters are not in the war, we don't have military pilots to deal with, we can change people's lives. And I welcome the opportunity to change many lives. It's one of the reasons I'm in Leaders Worldwide. When I heard about Leaders Worldwide, I thought, that's a good place for me to spend some time, because you see, over the years, I've made lots of mistakes in leadership. I've done lots of things wrong, and as a result, I've learned a whole lot. I believe that Leaders Worldwide can set the tone, can raise the bar in what people expect when they come to a Toastmasters club. Certainly, I'm going to do my part to raise the bar. Mind you, if I'm ever given the opportunity to evaluate you or to share something with you or to tell you what I think about a particular thing, fear not. I've given it lots of thought, and I don't have any baggage from what you did last time, and I don't have any apprehensions about how terrible or how bad you were last time, or even how great you were last time. You can depend on me, and I'd like to depend on you and develop the habit of everyone doing their deal when they come to you and they say, new day, new jet. Adam Toastmaster.
Oh boy, I'm taking that in. I'm in it for everybody's advancement, and we are all links in a chain of everybody's advancement. Timer, Bhumi, would you kindly give us a minute on the clock for our evaluator to prepare? Our evaluator, Lynn, has to leave early today, so she's going to step right up after a minute to deliver her evaluation.
And Bhumi, you can start the timer now, so she has a full minute. Okay.
Toastmaster Kathleen, 1 minute is up.
Thank you, Bhumi. And Ms. Lynn Fraley is going to deliver the evaluation for Victor's speech.
Well, thank you so
Lynn?
much. Thank you so much. This makes it easier to remember. I hope I'm not disrupting your flow by doing my evaluation at this point. Victor, okay, can we start my timing now? Sorry. Victor, what an amazing and beautiful speech. I have to say that you organized it in a beautiful way. And when you started off by saying everybody wants to be a leader here, I have to say that was a challenge. I found it compelling. I found that you organized and you carried that theme through really well. How you did it was pretty amazing. I loved your how you stood strong and how you owned your body. And I like how you leaned in when you talked about weighing in. And I like how you dropped your voice at some point. You had a good vocal variety. You kept us engaged with the story. We all expected this guy was going to be chewed out, but you presented the leadership quality of that, I forget, major, whatever rank he was, exhibiting leadership. So you kept the theme running through all parts of the story. I appreciated your pauses. I appreciated you had a very rich story, but that you didn't hurry it. You kept it so that we could listen to it in a way that we could follow with it. I especially enjoyed how you showed exactly, I mean, leadership to me is this term like leadership. What is this, like the president, or is it someone who's elected? Oh no, of course not. And then you went and talked about the three different ways we exhibit leadership within the club. Even in terms of Kathleen, how she recruits leaders to step up to fill roles. Every one of these positions and every one of the activities we do within Toastmasters helps us manifest and exhibit leadership abilities, which is what this club is about and what you addressed. I felt you were very successful, of course, in your presentation. I'd like to suggest a couple of stretch goals for you. Now I also have to comment on that beautiful background. Oh, that red curtain. Yes, thank you so much. But when you talked about walking, I wanted to see you walk a little bit, because I think you have a playfulness about yourself that you are not letting us see. I think you've got this great posture, a great body language, but I want to see you, I want to see your spirit a little bit more. I want to see you play a little bit. And I want to thank you for just giving us a wonderful example and exhibiting qualities of leadership in your presentation and bringing people along to think how this might apply to them as members of this club in particular. Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster.
Lynn, I learned a lot from you and a lot from Victor, and that's why I am here. Thank you. Now we're going to have the table topic session, and Victor is going to step right back in as table topics master. Victor.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Table Topics. For the benefit of those of you who don't really know who Table Topics is or what it is, briefly, most of the things that you do in your life is a table topic, because you don't know who's going to ask you and what they're going to ask you, but you do know that you're going to respond to questions. So table topics is the part of Toastmasters that help us hone our impromptu skills. In other words, your ability to tell a good lie, a good believable lie. In Toastmasters table topics, there's a couple of constraints that you want to adhere to. And one of those is the timing constraints, because you know, there's some people in Toastmasters that when you give them the floor, they just don't know when to shut up. They will find all sorts of reasons to keep talking, and they will talk about this and they'll talk about that. And these people need to have timing constraints. Now, I'm not saying that there's anybody in this meeting that's like that, but really and truly, some people just talk and talk and talk and just won't be quiet. And thank goodness that there is such a thing as timing constraints in Toastmasters. So will the timer please take a few seconds and give us the timing constraints for a table topics participation?
Thank you, Toastmaster Victor. The duration for the table topic section is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show the green virtual card at 1 minute, yellow virtual card at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red virtual card at 2 minutes. Please note there's a grace period of 30 seconds at upper end. It means you can speak, you cannot speak less than 1 minute and more than 2 minutes 30 seconds. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Victor.
Thank you very much, because if you exceed those timing limits, you will not qualify for any of the fabulous prize that awaits the winner of the table topics portion. There's one other constraint, there's one other requirement. You must use the word of the day in order to qualify. Will the grammarian please tell us what the word of the day is and what it means, and if possible, use it in a sentence for us. Grammarian, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. And the word of the day is inclusive, to be a part of a group or situation.
Can you use that in a sentence for us?
I have been inclusive with a group of Toastmasters.
Okay, thank you so much. Our first table topics participant will be a member of the club. So I'm looking at all the people here who look like they're members, and I'm going to pick somebody to be the first table topics participant. And unlike some table topics, unlike some Toastmasters, I don't believe in volunteers, because if you volunteer, you're ready. I want to talk to somebody who is not ready.
I want to hear from Gary.
Where's Gary? Gary? Okay, here's your question. Hey, Gary, by some freak of nature, you woke up as a woman. Well, tell me, Gary, what would be the best thing about that? And don't forget to use the word of the day.
I suddenly woke up as a woman today, and I was very pleased to be inclusive with such a wonderful group of people, especially today being International Women's Day. Makes me very proud to be a woman and to be able to help other people. One of the main traits of women, I feel, is nurturing, and helping nurture people, help them through their speeches, help them with their business, help them with their families, is all very important, and is really something that I feel very strongly about. So perhaps maybe I should be a woman, but but no, it's just a change of pace. It enables me to look at things from a different perspective than where I am. And it's important to be included and inclusive in this particular group.
Thank you. I do want to stress that your table topics does not have to be the truth. And if you don't like the question that I ask you, you can always pick another question. But the idea is, when you do that, be sure that you're at least entertaining and interesting. Oh, and also, if I call on you to do a table topic and you don't want to do it, just say, no, I don't want to do it. And okay, you won't be drawn and quartered or anything like that. But I will remember you the next time. Our next participant, I would like to be Antonetta. Antonetta, here's what happened. You lived to be the ripe old age of 95, and you are just in time for a celebration. They are celebrating your landmark accomplishments. Now, what is it that they're recognizing you for? What did you do? And don't forget to use the word of the day.
So you mean I was supposed to win something special in 1995? Is that?
You're 95 years old. You've been alive a long time, and they're having a celebration, and they're giving you Woman of the Year or something. But you did something. I want you to tell me what they are honoring you for.
Use your imagination.
That finally, at 95, I dared to be part of, to be included and inclusive in an international contest, and of our dear Toastmaster International. And I had the honor of being surrounded by all my friends that I met through all these journeys and all these meetings. So it was a very nice celebration, full of international Toastmaster friends and very inclusive with people from all over the world. That thanks to this training and thanks to keeping them healthy, we also learned to practice things like yoga and meditation, and therefore we made it all together to our 95 years of age, being inclusive with many people, with many friends, reaching out and making a difference in the world, because by then Toastmaster had even grown bigger and had made a positive impact in many people's life. So we continue being inclusive. At 95-year-olds, continue being healthy. We went over the bump. This 2020 year and 2021, just something anecdotic in a way to remember that we learn to be better people, and we all celebrated by then at our aging, and we age very gracefully. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you ever so much. Our next participant for this table topics activity is going to be Donna. Donna, you moved up to the camera just in the right moment. Are you open to being a table topic participant?
Most certainly.
So tell me, Donna, how important is fashion in terms of business attire? And don't forget to use the word of the day.
How important is fashion in the business world? I'm the least to talk about it. And I tell you why, because I have always looked for jobs where I can be in casual setting. But I will bring out this point. My last employer, who happened to be a global company, JP Morgan Chase, they moved to being casual. And that's when people started thinking that they were inclusive, but inclusive in their bending over and seeing their yeehaws. You know what I'm meaning? I thought, oh no. But my best thing is my inclusive decision and chairing a diversity forum for the Indianapolis, Indiana market. I brought on 4 core group members for the start of the training. And I learned my best lesson ever through that training and that planning. A gentleman who is a VP in the corporation said, Donna, I want you to think of somebody that you don't ever see yourself working with on the team. Invite that person to be part of your team. Run an inclusive team mindset. And wow, you will see the changes. This gentleman was so right, because the individual that we had joined the core team, he kept us on task on everything. He was very detailed.
Donna, thank you
And
so
we-
very much for your table topic, but you are over time. Thank you.
And we will slip right away into the evaluation section where we will report on the timing and the word of the day and so on. Mohammed, please introduce the reports.
Thank you, Madam VPE, for calling me. I request, as per the agenda, timer, can you give me the report of the speakers and the table topic, how much the time they take?
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohammed. Toastmaster Linda took 3 minutes and 10 seconds. The keynote speaker, Toastmaster Michelle, took 9 minutes and 31 seconds. And for the Q&A, she took 10 minutes. Our speaker number 1, Toastmaster Sarinika, took 6 minutes and 35 seconds. And for the Q&A, she took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Victor, took 9 minutes and 2 seconds. Our evaluator, Toastmaster Lynn, took 3 minutes. In the table topic section, our table topic speaker number 1, Toastmaster Greg, took 1 minute and 3 seconds. Table topic speaker number 2, Toastmaster Antoineta, took 1 minute and 50 seconds. Our table topic speaker number 3, Toastmaster Donna, took 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you so much, timer, for your wonderful report. Now I would like to call our grammarian to give her report for today's speeches and use of word of the day and the table topic. Back to you.
Thank you. And we have Linda, inclusion 1 and 2 ums. Kathleen, 2 so's. Michelle, twice in so that. We have Victor, 3 inclusives. We have Donna, 4 inclusives. We have Boomy, there, an extra there, and Gary, 3 inclusives, and Antoinetta, 3 inclusives. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful report. Thank you so much. Now the time come for the journal evaluation. Overall meeting, I enjoyed, but every meeting have their own content or the own flow, where I have seen here is totally different, and most of the engagement is about connecting with guests. I really like it because each and every member focusing on members, their registry, and especially they are trying to logging in and add their numbers, phone, contact number. I really like it from the beginning. Then meeting is start with the keynote speaker, which is also awesome. And it's giving inspiration for the guests who join. They can take some insight or takeaway from our wonderful keynote speeches, keynote speaker, which they have delivered over here. And I really like it from the day 1 about leaders worldwide. They are very good for guests to give speechcraft program, and that is awesome. And people are get connected all over the world because of the specialization over here is the speechcraft. Those who are the new Toastmasters or they're about to change their career in the Toastmasters, they want to improve their communication and leadership skills. So it is very give value added to them. Apart from this one, it is very good making a breakout room thanks to virtual things which is happening for us. So it's giving opportunity to send guests to the virtual room or the breakout room and main room. This is awesome. Overall, I really enjoyed the meeting with our wonderful speeches, evaluation, table topic, and very awesome speaker. He has given very well. There is a chance of improvement, and I can see over here, some of them, they will add like a business session, like a parliamentary procedure, which we need to follow. We have to take a report from each officer. It will be much value added to the members to know the proceeding. This is as a improvement. If you can apply, it's depend on the club to club. Maybe it's different. Here is different. I really like it. And overall, we have very great speakers and great knowledge. I would like to take more experience. Thank you to Madam Toastmasters, Madam Linda, and Madam VPE. So I really enjoyed with the meeting. In the back end, I am working for Vice President membership as a team with Madam President. Overall, I really enjoyed. Thank you so much. And back to you, Madam VPE, Kathleen. And one more thing I would like to say, our VPE, your voice is very awesome. Whoever listen will come to you directly. I don't know, there is something, it's good. Okay, and back to you, Madam VPE. Thank you so much.
Mohammed, I appreciate your demonstrating a message that Michelle gave us about expressing your interest and your values and your estimations, your opinions about the proceedings of the meeting. You offered help, but you did it from a subjective perspective. You did not talk down to us. That was a beautiful job for from the general evaluator. I would like to ask who might be interested in filling that role come the 22nd of March. And for instance, Gary, might you have the time to come to the meeting and maybe do that? Or you could be a timer or the grammarian.
Gary's in the speechcraft.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, so he needs to focus on his speeches.
I beg your pardon. Yeah, that's a problem with me. I don't know who's doing what. So.
Oh, and he was supposed to go in the speechcraft today.
All right.
So what happened?
So let's see. We have tasty morsels just to pick up. And I haven't seen enough of you, Cassandra Garabedian. Are you able to come?
Oh, she's also in this speech.
You're in speechcraft.
Or was supposed to be. Sorry. But I'm glad to see you, Cassandra. We haven't seen you in so long.
Yes, it's true. I want to see your face.
I'm back.
Good. Good. Look at
I've been
you.
in Texas
So
helping
beautiful.
out. Yes, I've been in Texas helping out.
Oh, you
in
have.
Texas.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Tell us about it in a speech.
I will.
Yeah. But we have some business to attend to. There is the toast.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The Toastmaster. Who would like to get a little experience being the Toastmaster? And our next afternoon meeting. Sandra.
Ooh, that would be great.
I'm new, so I'm not sure exactly how that goes. And I did offer to do sign up for one thing. So I think Michelle Petticotis is going to train me on that. So I've already volunteered for one thing. I think
I'm really looking forward. Thank you. Thank you. So I understand now, but I'm now talking about another job, and I'm asking Sandra Edwards. What do you
Okay.
think?
Well, I've never done that role before.
Would you like a little help from me beforehand?
Yes.
Good. Do you think you'd like to accept it? I don't want to force it on you.
Well,
I wonder if general evaluator would be a little bit easier first, because I don't think she's ever served as a general
Okay.
evaluator either.
All righty.
So let's have her get training wheels with that.
What do you think, Sandra? Do you like that idea?
I've been an evaluator before, so
And the general evaluator just introduces the evaluators and the
Oh,
timer, and so
general.
they just have like a little mini Toastmaster role.
Also, Sandra, if you would like to exercise your skills as an evaluator, which is a very, very complex and beautiful work, we have 2 spots as evaluator. And I would love to see you do that. It's your choice, my dear.
Oh dear, I wish you'd just make the choice for me, okay?
I want to see you do the job of the, I want to see you do the job of the evaluator.
All right, I can be an evaluator.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Any other evaluators? Victor, are you available in 2 weeks in the afternoon? If you were to unmute yourself.
He'd be a fabulous Toastmaster if he's available.
Oh, he's a fabulous Toastmaster. What up, Victor?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll be in 2 weeks. Yeah. Got it.
Great. So you're going to be a Toastmaster.
I've been a Toastmaster for 20 years already.
Of the day.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we've got to move on. Do you need any more roles for 30 seconds?
Yes, please. Cynthia, would you, as I scribble, would you engage for us?
Okay. So who would like to be general evaluator? Let's see. I know, Teresa, you're going to be in April. And let's see, who else do we have? Well, we have Sheena, but she's brand new to Toastmasters. And we have, well, Linda Berteau. Would you like to try your hand at it? The general evaluator, and we can get you some training. Swarna's wonderful at training general evaluators, or I could train you.
Aren't I speaking next that week also?
I don't. Oh, let's see. They're good
That's with
boys.
using visuals. That was the plan for me to speak
You're
using
speaking.
visuals.
Okay, that's right. Okay. I just.
So if I'm speaking, I'd rather not have one of the
Yeah,
jobs.
no,
but when
you
I'm
can't
not
be-
speaking, it's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. And Barbara, are you speaking that day?
On the 22nd?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, maybe Taufik will be our general evaluator then. That would be Taufik or Isaac. Okay, we're going to move on now. We'll follow up with you during the week then. And is that all you have? Did you put your email in, Kathleen?
I did not. Nobody uses it, but I'll stick it in just for to make you happy.
Yeah, to get through. Okay. Now then time for announcements. We have 2 division contests. We have the evaluation contest on March 11th. That's Thursday, a week this Thursday. And on March 18th, a week from Thursday, we have the International Speech Contest, and they're both at 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. So it might not work for some of you here. Okay, I think that's all of our announcements. Do you have anything else, Linda? And then I'll go to chocolates and takeaways.
I have nothing else. Thank you.
Okay. And do we have our guest, Sarinka? Would you like to share your experience and what you're taking away from today? Oh, maybe she's away from her desk. Okay.
And she
do
is
we
the
have,
only guest still on board. The
okay.
rest are all members.
Okay, so any members want to share your experience from today, what you're taking away, and then I will give you a virtual chocolate. Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you. I just love Toastmasters and all that I'm learning. And Carrie did her speech, and it was really wonderful and inspiring. And I'm learning a lot by observing other people give speeches. And it's very powerful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Would you like a chocolate?
Of course.
Awesome. Here you go. Your favorite flavor.
Oh, good. Marzipan chocolate.
Marzipan. Oh, yummy, yummy. Anyone else want to share their experience? Takeaways.
No one's
Anybody
hungry.
No one's hungry for virtual chocolates.
I would just like to say, Cynthia, that the speeches were really inspiring and very empowering. And I appreciate all the information every time. I listen to the speeches every time, and they're so engaging, and it just makes me feel really good about joining the club. And so to all the speakers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, they're very empowering speeches. And you were in Texas. You were helping out with the freeze there?
Yeah, my sister and I have cousins there. So I was there, and then along just with all the other people with the water, just sending water and helping out with the relief there.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We pray for those people in Texas.
It's just really bad.
Oh,
really bad, especially in Houston and some of the other rural areas. It's just really bad.
Thank you so much for sharing. And would you like a chocolate?
I sure would.
Here you go.
All right, got it. Thank you.
And
You're
Miss
welcome.
Edwards, Miss Edwards would like to have a chocolate, my dear.
Okay. Hi, Sandra.
Hi. Hi. Well, I wanted to say that I really enjoyed Michelle's talk. Very specifics, very specific. You know, I have done an evaluation, but this, brings it to a whole new level. Very specific about how to make it work and how to make it happen. And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Yes. And so she had to leave early, but yeah, she's an amazing presenter. Really great. You want a chocolate?
Sure.
Ding.
Thank you.
Great. Anyone else raising their hand? If not, I want to call on Gary and just see how your experience was.
I had a wonderful experience today and really enjoyed all the speeches. Learning from Michelle about the main aspects of properly evaluating and how to encourage people, I think, is a lesson that was very well received. And having to answer a interesting question, the spur of the moment was a challenge, but also fun. So I thoroughly enjoyed today.
You really stepped up as a woman. That was great.
Fair enough.
Thank you. Here's the virtual chocolate.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Thank you. And anybody else want to share your experience? Do you see anyone there? Sheena, would you like to share? I know this is your first meeting as a new member.
You're muted, Sheena.
I guess I was putting into practice my listening skills, just listening to people and watching, listening how they performed. And I think that was quite good for me because I'm usually a talker. I enjoyed it. I was surprised the level and the standard that I was listening to the different people. I can't remember all their names, but the standard and the having a formula and a process. I'm very into formulas and processes. And I think I was pleasantly surprised that I was hearing that. So thank you for that. I did think that the evaluation part, the training part, was quite in depth, and I think it's very helpful when you work in the business world to have evaluation skills. So I thought that was very good. Enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to joining you more regularly. Yeah, nice experience and quite refreshing for me. I think that I probably met Cynthia again at a time when I needed to be somewhere else, be with inspiring people. And I guess that's the word I'll leave with tonight, is I felt quite inspired listening to people, and they were funny and they had a little bit of informal about them too. And I think right now I needed that. So thank you.
Got what you need. I love it. Would you like a chocolate?
Yes, but more than one.
More than, how about 3? I can get a 3. 1, 2, 3. And all your favorites. And is anyone else raising their hand? I'd like to call on Victor and hear your experience. You're fairly new to our club, but not to Toastmasters. Oh, you're on mute.
You know,
right.
pressing the space bar is supposed to unmute me, and that's what I was doing, unless the Zoom master muted me for some reason. In any case, no, I'm new to this club, but I'm not new to very many things. And unfortunately for people who just meet me, I don't do the new person role very well. I'm not very good at being a tenderfoot because I'm a citizen of the world, right? And being a citizen of the world, I'm at home everywhere. The only thing I need to do is make sure I'm speaking the right language. Because if I'm speaking the language, if you're speaking the language of listening, and I'm speaking the language of talking, and that's going to be a disconnect. So I'm glad to be a part of this club. I'm looking forward to having the bar raised every week that I'm here. And I'm Victor.Jenkins at district39.org. And anybody want to talk to me for any reason, send me an email, or you can find my phone number on Easy Speak. Because you see, I have a wife and no children, which means I got lots of extra time. You imagine being married to me for 29 years. You probably heard all the stuff, right? So I don't get a chance to talk much. So yeah, reach out. Thank you very much for being so welcoming. And I wish everyone well.
Thank you, Victor. And you are bringing people to Leaders Worldwide, introducing them. I think you have me on the phone like a couple times a week to talk to people. So I'm so happy. And you're also going to be the cover of our next newsletter. So I'm so excited. Our magazine, the Global Leader. So great. And would you like a chocolate?
I think I'm chocolate. I think I'm chocolate enough. I have some chocolate to give y'all. But thanks for the offer.
Great. And what, does anyone else want to say anything before we go? Linda, do you have anything else to say?
I have nothing else to report or to say. It's been a great meeting, and we've had some of our newer members here. The Speechcraft went very, very well, and we're looking forward to the research speeches next time, which will be in 2 weeks. And overall, thank you all for being here. It's been a phenomenal day, and everyone was so inclusive.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you next time, and be sure to mark your calendar for April 5th with our special guest. Bye-bye for now.
Okay.